Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the 5 greatest Handel recordings. Oh my goodness, what a list this is going to be, isn't it? Handel wrote tons and tons and tons of music. And so your list of the 5 greatest Handel recordings has to reflect the outrageous variety of what Handel actually did, but only 5. No honorable mentions, just 5. As I said at the beginning of this series, this is going to be painful. I want you to make choices, really hard choices. Why? Because that way I'll know that you're giving me what you think the best really are. And when everybody else does that, we're going to have a really, really meaningful list of works and possibly a consensus about what some of the really greatest recordings are. Aside from the fact that, of course, my 5 are the greatest. I mean, that goes without saying, right? We get it all. So here are the 5 greatest Handel recordings. And I expect you to dig deep into your innermost Handelian soul to come up with your own list. Here we go. And you can duplicate. You can pick things from my list. Since I know it's already the greatest, it's perfectly fine. So we're starting with Messiah, because you can't have a Handel list without Messiah, can you? And the greatest ever recording of Messiah, well, it's this one. It's Colin Davis with the London Symphony Orchestra and Heather Harper, Helen Watts, John Wakefield, and John Shirley Quirk. Oh my, isn't this just fabulous? It really, really is astonishing. When Davis did this performance, he was deliberately doing it in the spirit of Handel's own performances, with smaller forces, smaller choir, but fabulous singing, absolutely marvelous singing, wonderful choral contributions from the London Symphony Chorus. And it's one of those performances that's been, on the radar as a reference recording since like the day it came out, and deservedly so. I mean, really deservedly so. It's absolutely outstanding in every way. It has the right celebratory quality for the choruses. It's moving. He was despised. Doesn't last to the point where you want to kill yourself, but it's very intense. It's a knockout of a performance. Always has been. So that's number 1. Number 2. Let's see. What's number 2 in our 5 greatest Handel recordings? Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. Well, he wrote 30-some-odd Italian operas. For 200 years, they were entirely ignored and neglected. Really kind of astonishing. But now they're back, and there are some unbelievable performances, including Ariodante. Now, Ariodante is, you don't have to worry about the plot so much. Ariodante's a knight. He's in love with what's her name, what's her, Ginevra. There we go, Ginevra. And Ginevra is, also desired by Polinesso. Is that the person here? Yeah, or Lurcanio. I don't know, one of those guys. And, they set things up so that everybody thinks everyone's having an affair with somebody else, and everybody's upset, and they're all going to kill each other, and there's a duel, and okay, it's the typical opera plot. But here's the thing, for centuries, people thought that Baroque opera seria, which is what this is, was absolutely hopelessly undramatic and uninteresting and terrible. It's not true. It's not true. You just have to listen to it. Handel tinkered with the conventions. He really did. I mean, Ariodante, for example, has actual dancing and a ballet in it. It's got like a nightmare scene, a dream scene, and sequence, and with things happening. And it's got all kinds of cool stuff in it. It's not just one da capo aria after another. But the truth of the matter is, there's nothing wrong with having one da capo aria after another, as long as the arias contribute to character development, to putting flesh and blood and true feelings into these rather stiff cardboard characters. And Handel was the best at that. He really was. And this performance with Mark Minkowski and Les Musiciens du Louvre is really outstanding. I mean, you've got Anne-Sophie von Otter in one of her best ever recordings. Absolutely. Lynn Dawson, Ava Podlish, Veronica Kangemi, Richard Croft, Dennis Sedoff, and Luc Coadou. That's the cast. And they sing fabulously well. There are some absolutely glorious arias in this opera. Gorgeous, complex, really meaningfully deep, expressive arias in this opera. And the story is a good one. I mean, I made fun of it at the beginning because opera stories are all kind of silly, but yes, I mean, it's really, really a good one. You get a sense that these characters care about each other, and the music is meaningful. It's long. These operas are big. They're like 3 hours. It's not a sort of bagatelle, but it's one knockout of a performance. One of the great Handel recordings, for sure. Definitely in the top 5 of the universe. Next, let's see. Oh, yes, L'Allegro, Il Penseroso, ed il Moderato. What an unresonant title. Most people have no clue what this thing is. All right, it's a pastoral ode based on poetry by John Milton with some interpolations by Shakespeare in the last part. And it has just some of the most beautiful arias that Handel ever wrote. Oh, my God. It's got his Carillon in it, like the Glockenspiel thing. And it has As Steals the Morn, which is probably the most gorgeous duet ever written in the entire Baroque period, in part 3, which makes part 3, which would otherwise be the dullest part, absolutely the crowning glory of the whole work. I mean, Handel really knew what he was doing. This is absolutely a stunning, stunning piece of music. And this performance features, let me see, again, I see the names here. Let me see, Susan Gritton, and let's see, who else is here? Claren McFadden, Lorna Anderson, Paul Agnew, Neil Davies, the King's Consort, Robert King on Hyperion. They did phenomenal Handel on Hyperion. And this, I think, was the capstone, or one of them. They did all the weird oratorios that no one else was paying attention to, and showed us that a lot of them really deserve to be paid attention to. And this performance is just incredible. If you don't know this work, you don't know Handel. You really don't. I mean, you've got to hear this piece, and you're going to love it. Absolutely love it. Next, the Concerti Grossi, Opus 6. Yes, because Handel did write orchestral music. And it's very funny because for most people, he's the guy who did like the water music and the fireworks music and these. But, the organ concerto here and there. But, his orchestral output was like 1/10 of a billionth of a percent of what he actually wrote, which was all vocal music. So when you do your Handel list, you've got to make sure that you respect those proportions. You really do. But for the Concerti Grossi Opus 6, if you want them on period instruments, you cannot do better than the Academy of Ancient Music under Andrew Manze. Absolutely wonderful performances. They just glow. They're exciting. They're brisk. They're colorful. They're full of character and energy and contrast. It's absolutely glorious. 2 discs too, all 12 of them, because when you add them all up, these are 79 minutes and 77 minutes respectively. I mean, Handel wrote lots of music. I mean, Handel's music has lots of notes, but usually good notes that we're delighted to hear. And this is just fantastic for Concerti Grossi Opus 6. Andrew Manze, Harmonia Mundi, definitely go for that one. And last but not least, in terms of the 5 greatest Handel recordings, Semele. Oh, Semele. Semele is interesting because it was written after Handel gave up operas and he started writing oratorios. But this is a Greek story. It's not a biblical story. And when people went to see it, they went, it's not an oratorio, it's a bawdy opera. And bawdy and operatic, indeed it is. We have, first of all, Kathleen Battle in the role of Semele, who is the total narcissist, which is the perfect role for Kathleen Battle. You've got Marilyn Horne, and towards the end of her career, but still able to produce more notes per second than any human being that ever lived. Absolutely fabulous. She has 2 roles, Juno and Ino, or Eno. Sam Raimi is Cadmus and Somnus. Jupiter is John Aller. We have Michael Chance, Neil Mackey, Sylvia McNair, and Mark S. Doss as the priest. The Ambrosian Opera Singers and the English Chamber Orchestra, all under John Nelson on Deutsche Grammophon. This is absolutely one of Handel's greatest and least definable works. It can be produced as an opera and has been, and it works very well that way. It really does. But it also can be performed in concert dress as an oratorio, and it has been and should be. And the arias are just incredible. And to hear Marilyn Horne sing Iris Hints Away is just one of the most fabulous things you've ever heard in your life, as well as Kathleen Battle doing Myself I Shall Adore, because boy, you believe every minute of that one when she sings it. It's absolutely glorious, and Nelson keeps it all moving. The instruments are modern, but the approach is light and crisp and periody, but not cold. It's just an outstandingly glorious recording. And so there you have it, the 5 greatest Handel recordings. I am looking forward to seeing your list as well. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.